Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
Breaking news tonight, Diddy, aka Sean Combs, has been arrested in New York after a grand jury indictment. Now, as of right now, his charges are unclear. However, they did say that Diddy was aware that this was going to happen soon. So this past week, he did relocate to New York to show that he was not a man that was going to run and has been cooperative with the investigation. Now, this is a federal, not a state prosecution, and what we do know from previous cases we've covered on this channel, when the feds swoop in on you, they've already dotted all their I's, crossed all their T's. They have all the witness interviews, pictures, videos, text messages, and more to prosecute you to the highest extent permitted by applicable law. Needless to say, now that Diddy has been locked up, he is in for a long ride. No Diddy. We are going to cover this and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. So the need to ponder the question, did he do it, is no longer needed because a grand jury obviously feels he did before indicting him. So your boy Diddy was confidently strolling through the streets of New York tonight with his son King Combs, not knowing that tonight would be the actual night that the feds would be taking him into custody. Law enforcement tells TMZ that Diddy's arrest was scheduled for Tuesday, but something happened that caused the feds to move in a day earlier. However, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams says federal agents took him in based on a sealed indictment filed by the Southern District of New York. Now, while these documents are currently sealed, they're stating that they will be opened in the morning, but it appears that this action was taken in connection with the ongoing criminal investigation into alleged sex trafficking and other offenses that led to search warrants being issued and executed at Diddy's homes in both Beverly Hills and Miami. And it's being reported that the grand jury has been hearing testimony from various accusers over the last few months. Diddy's attorney Mark Agnifilo says that we are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Sean Diddy Combs is a music icon, self-made entrepreneur, loving family man, and proven philanthropist who has spent the last 30 years building an empire, adoring his children, and working to uplift the Black community. His attorney also adds he is an imperfect person but is not criminal. To his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with the investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide, and he looks forward to clearing his name in court.
Ooh, and been saying that.
Who said that?
And no matter who Diddy's attorneys are, we all know that statistically speaking, the odds of Diddy actually beating a Fed case, especially after Homeland Security has raided both of his homes, taken videos, pictures, and other documentation, are slim to none because currently federal prosecutions tout above a 95% conviction rate. Now, next for your boy Diddy will be an arraignment, and this will happen either tomorrow or in the next few days. And we all know that cameras are not allowed in federal court. However, Sean Combs will appear in court with his attorneys, and at that arraignment, they will advise him of the charges being brought against him. During that time, he will enter a plea of either guilty or not guilty, and since his attorneys are already saying that he's looking forward to proving his innocence in court, we all know how he will plead. Then they will question how bail will come into play. Now, will prosecution actually let him out on bail, or will they keep him in pending trial due to him possibly being a flight risk or possibly being a harm to the community? And I'm sure that Diddy's attorneys will argue how he's been cooperative and showing that he even moved closer to help them take him into custody. However, this would be the time that Diddy's resources would come into play in him getting good attorneys to actually fight on his behalf. Now, we've all seen the infamous video of Diddy attacking Cassie that finally made Diddy admit to his wrongdoing. However, assault and sexual assault are not federal crimes. These crimes are prosecuted in state court, so more than likely the actual charge charges against Diddy brought in this federal indictment will allude to some type of crime with an organization attached to it related to sex trafficking. It's being stated that Combs' arrest happened in a Manhattan hotel lobby and he is currently being processed. Now, although the criminal charges are major, they were not an unexpected takedown of one of the most prominent producers and most famous names in the history of hip-hop. Now, with Cassie Ventura stepping out with her detailed lawsuit late last year, that was indeed the catalyst in getting others to feel safe in coming forward and telling their own story. And I can guarantee you that now, with everything that's happening, Diddy probably wishes that he would have just paid her off when she first requested him to do so, as opposed to her actually having to file a lawsuit, which ended up costing him in the end, both financially and now putting him behind bars. Cassie was the first but not the only person to file suit against the disgraced ex-mogul, claiming years of abuse, including beatings and the R word. Her suit also alleged that Combs engaged in sex trafficking by requiring her to engage in forced sexual acts in multiple jurisdictions and by engaging in harboring and transporting of Cassie for purposes of sex induced by force, fraud, or coercion. So it's not like the feds did not have enough information to go off of. However, they work in receipts just like we do, and just last week, federal authorities started to double down on the ongoing investigation that surrounded the sexual assault and trafficking accusations that were leveled against Mr. Sean Diddy Combs. And just as soon as things seemed like they could not get any worse, the embattled rapper and his former girlfriend Daphne Joy, who is also the baby mama to 50 Cent, was named in a grand jury subpoena issued merely weeks ago. The subpoena called for the hotel to hand over reservation records involving Diddy, Daphne, and other associates of Bad Boy Entertainment CEO. The subpoena specifies the period from January 1st, 2008 to the present, asking for check-in and check-out dates, room numbers, guest preferences and requests, and billing information, including room service. Federal prosecutors also requested email and mailing addresses and phone numbers, along with forms of payment such as cash and credit cards. Prosecutors further asked for the computer IP addresses and logins for the individuals, as well as copies of their identification and vehicle information. What's more, the feds inquired about surveillance footage at the hotel. Detailed subpoenas like this lead me to believe that Diddy will not be going down alone, and once this indictment is released, we will learn about the sick things Diddy has been involved in. Now, with these things Cassie, Little Rod, and Don have all included in their lawsuits, I have a feeling that these accusations of young girls being drugged and taken advantage of by not only Diddy, but a lot of his famous associates, things are going to get pretty bad, and I am seeing something along the Epstein level. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about Diddy's arrest? Do you feel like he will be granted bond? And what is the likelihood of Diddy beating the feds? I want to hear from you. Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes.